It actually works. I'm hoping it's working. Hoping it's working, folks. Amazing. Okay. Let's see if we've got it back up and running. I'm struggling. Oh, it doesn't look like I have our needle cam logged in yet, although it says it is there. No, these mics can go away, and we've got these little Bluetooth microphones, and I need to find, oh, here's one for you. I'm going to turn it on, and then I need to find out if we have backups for this, and I need to get this in real quick in case I have to reboot the production one more time. Every time a camera drops, we lose everything right now. I was trying to simplify as a solution.
This is now a new link to put over in the...
Yes. Okay. Can you see if we're live on YouTube on your phone, please? Marketing. There it is.
Yes, we are.
Do you have any viewers?
A couple.
Great. I still have access to the old chat, so I can get the link to them here in a second as soon as I know it's going to all work again.
We have 65 viewers.
Wonderful.
Going back to Facebook.
I'm afraid at the moment I just can't get the camera that works at the over by the needle.
Okay.
But we can fudge. We can still show them, and I can maybe bring another camera in. Let me get those links going. I'm not going to stress over that one camera at this point. I've got way too many other things to stress over.
Okay, but we are live, so
we are live.
I will just stand here and like let them know that I'm...
Did you already get all the sewing done?
No.
Oh, you can sew again.
I can sew again. Is my microphone okay?
Probably.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if y'all can hear me. And
oh, that was the
Rob's
link.
working like a crazy boy over there, trying to get it all working again. He never even stopped for a bite of food, so we might have to send him out to get a taco in a minute. And if so, I'll figure this out.
Right. Are you playing with your fabrics right now? That was the one that paused out too. I think what I need to do... I have too many links open.
I don't know. Rob says he has too many links open. Has that ever happened to you? Happens to me. Too many links. Too many tabs.
Oh, let's see. Do I have it stuck on that camera number 2? I think I do. That's the problem. There. Okay, there you are.
Here I am.
There
Hi.
you are.
I'm just sewing. Hopefully you're sewing. We did not get to go have soup. I hope your soup was delicious. I will have soup for dinner if there's any left over. Or soup at 3 o'clock, right?
Right. I'm definitely going to need that pond jump today.
Oh, Rob says he's jumping in the pond. Can you all hear both of us?
There we go. Okay, I'm going back to the other chats.
You're going to forward them all over to this new one?
Yep.
Perfect.
New live link. And then I'm going to go over to this one where it paused out. I can't get in the chat on the old link. Okay. The original ones, can I just comment on it yet? Oh, there's the chat. Excellent.
I did.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do.
I'll just put it over here. Yes. Oh, I can sew my blocks together.
Close that one down so Trish doesn't get confused. We're going to close that one down so Trish doesn't get confused. Close that one down so Trish doesn't get confused.
He knows me. I likes to look at that. You know, I have a blanket and a pillow in my seat on the struggle bus.
Right. Man, what a morning, huh? Oh, that's just rotten. I can't even get back to our own YouTube channel. I'm just like, I'm so numb in the fingers.
There's more tacos out there, so
Oh, there better be a bus full of tacos out there. It's the taco bus is coming.
yes.
Oop.
Just the one that's really working. There we go. There we go.
There we go. Have you conquered it, Rob?
Yep, we got
All
it.
right.
Okay.
I'm going to make this the motto of the year. We shall conquer
I'm having
all
a taco,
things.
actually. Hey, could you do a guest appearance so I can eat a taco? Yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
It just froze again.
No,
As soon as I walk in here.
it
Well,
shouldn't be,
As soon as
No.
you switch, as soon as you said you switched to the other chat.
right?
But you lose.
No, people are still going.
You lose signal as you come through here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you stand in front of camera, partner? Because
You
I will
wanna-
know. Because she's intergate. Yeah, she's not stalled out yet. Thanks, buddy.
I could see here.
Oh, look,
Maybe if
we're
you
on.
we're on. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
That's right. Yeah, okay.
Comic Quilter to the rescue.
Combat Quilter to the rescue. Yeah, they're okay. People are getting over here.
Hey, everybody.
I got 9 minutes to grab myself something to eat.
10.
Yeah, we'll give you 10
Fantastic.
minutes.
It
Jeremy
looks
says you
like
get
it's
7.
playing in about 30 seconds. We are not frozen. There he is. You're on camera. That's you. Okay. You've been
Hey.
on camera for
Hi.
30 seconds. You just didn't know it. I'm getting a taco.
Rob needs a taco. I'm just sewing.
Oh, nice.
I knew I could Tom Sawyer you into doing the rest of the show for me.
Hey, and didn't you say something on the thing about you didn't want me to steal the show? Good job. I did what you wanted me to do and stole the show.
Here, put it down a little lower.
Oh.
Just,
Here, you just do it. How about that?
all right. I'm gonna squish your A.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
At least I have a
Better?
good shirt on.
All right, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Andrew Lee, aka the Combat Quilter, and I've been sewing about 8 years, and I'm friends with Rob and Tiffany. Who
There
knew?
we are. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? Are you sewing in the retreat center?
I am.
How's it going over there?
Good.
Good?
We had potato soup, which there's a whole tray left for you over there. So I
You had
hear
potato soup. I thought you were supposed to have tortilla soup like everybody else.
no, we had potato soup today.
Okay, I love potato soup.
The chef, whatever his name is, Tyler.
Tyler,
Yeah, he is phenomenal. We've
right?
been eating good. I do know the camera is adding 10 pounds right now,
Oh, always.
but
To me,
we should be okay.
we should be. I'm just going to keep sewing my block together.
Oh, we need to get further ahead than Rob.
Oh, well, I already sewed Rob's block. That's you.
I need to close my thing so that way I'm not getting echo and reverb and all that other stuff.
Yep.
Like the problems from 2 years ago. They're haunting us.
You know, this is the year to overcome. That's what I'm going to just say.
Okay.
We're going to just persevere. We're going to smile. And we're going to fix it. And we're going to high five at the end of the day and say, woohoo, we did it.
And at least we had fun.
And at least we had fun. Oh, and I hit a camera. So, what's
Say
it?
again?
I want to see if you can read these 6 for the $50.
Oh, absolutely.
Right here.
All right. So
this isn't very nice though. Those names are not easy to pronounce.
that's why Rob brought you over.
Oh,
This was a whole ploy just to get you
he
to
Tom
butcher the
Sawyered
names.
me on purpose.
Right?
So that way I can butcher these people's names just like the Army taught me to do, which is why drill sergeants gave people nicknames whenever they had a hard name to pronounce. And that's just the name that they got.
Got it. Okay, well, we're going to try to give away 6 gift cards for $50 each. And we're going to try to be okay with the names. And we're giving you like 5 minutes to respond back with the words winner, winner, chicken dinner on this YouTube live and at rob@stitchinheaven.com. I briefly looked at comments, talking briefly during the time that we were off, and I saw somebody who said they were not able to comment on this on the YouTube. So you still just send an email over to rob@stitchinheaven.com. We're monitoring that as well. So if we don't see you pop up right here, we'll still check over there. And we're giving you like 5 minutes or so. I'm going to be a little loosey-goosey on this. So, all right, you ready for names? Wait.
I just realized it's only 12:41. They may not be back from lunch.
They may not be back for lunch. We're going to wait 4 minutes before we talk about 6 names and give you 5 minutes to respond.
This is like that 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing where when you have anxiety, you're supposed to find six things, 5 smells. It's a whole entourage of things that you're supposed to do, which will help your anxiety get away from that.
Awesome. I might need to understand that a little better.
I used to have this cool card in my wallet, but it got washed somehow.
I can
and I may or may not be to blame for that.
May or may not. You want to press that?
Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Just thought since you're over there by the iron, that's kind of Rob's job.
Oh, Tiffany, I'm Army. I need to be told what to do.
I will work on that.
Okay.
All right. Rob, we were going to start to give away prizes, but we decided to wait till 12:45 just in case we didn't have everybody back on. So we've given ourselves a couple of minutes. Thank you. Since I'm going to give direction, when you, I have to sew it first. Never mind. When you press this one for me, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it. But
you want to do it open?
I want this one open. Those are fine. Those ones you just did, leave be.
I actually learned a trick watching Rob the other day. I can't believe that I'm going to say this out loud, that I learned something precision related from Rob. But if you press the seam to one direction first, and then flip it over and then iron the opposite side the other way, it stays so much better.
It's like it has a memory. You heat it up, it's got a memory.
Yeah.
Something happens.
Yeah, I don't know which.
Trade you.
Okay. And you're okay with that method, that I'm going to push one direction and then...
I'm always willing to learn new things too. I'll just watch along.
Yeah, no clapper, huh?
No.
You were scared Rob was going to throw it or beat you up with it.
Maybe I was going to beat him up with it.
Oh, but that's what happens with the boys, when we get together. You never know. That's why we switched to Nerf guns. Oh, yeah. Use your magic thing. There we go. Thank you, ma'am.
Just gets it started. Works for me. I hope you all got at least that block made before lunch while we were having technical issues. And I will be looking later on the Facebook group post and seeing blocks. And I'm super excited to see blocks that are being done from stash because the colors
are all so different.
Yeah. And oftentimes when I look at the colors, the stack of colors looks amazing.
Eat your heart out, Rob Appel. Your blocks never are that precise.
The stacks of colors I've seen are amazing, but when they turn into a quilt, that's like your children growing up or something. I don't know. It's like a tree blooming in the spring. It's like actually seeing it. There
was a woman who got a block done over there and was doing her happy dance, like all around from the ironing station all the way back to her station. Like,
I need to figure out who she is and learn her happy dance.
Yeah, we all need a happy dance.
Don't we?
I think on the cruise, I'm trying to convince Rob to do Thriller from Michael Jackson, but it's not working out very well. I mean, that would be cool to do like a mosh or like like the flash mobs used to do in the malls and stuff. Everybody all doing the same dance. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. I did a cruise through the Panama Canal, and I think they teach the entire Thriller dance because that's a long cruise.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So they teach the entire Thriller dance throughout the cruise, and then they perform at the last dance party kind of thing. But because when I went through the Panama Canal, the new opening wasn't available yet, so we were in a small ship that went through the small locks. And so there was not much to do on that ship compared to the huge ships. So there were always a lot of people watching the Thriller dance being learned. Hi.
Hi there. You guys are doing so good. I think I just set the land speed record for taco consumption, but I'm not quite. I want to make it so they can see what you're sewing. So give me a few more minutes to goof around with this.
All
maybe.
right. If it doesn't work, they watched us sew on part one.
They saw the steps other than that one step we still have to do that's different than the other steps.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. Somehow I do.
Rob, you've been hanging out with your military friends too much because I believe that all of that verbiage that you just gave was what the Uncle Sam gives us.
Right. Make sure you know, what you don't know.
What you don't know, yeah.
What you don't know. This is the fun part about this tool now. I've even gotten to the point where I can't even figure out how to use
all of its features,
which is another nice feature of.
How's
Rob, look how pretty that is. And look at them points.
Did Tiffany show you how to do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why we're wearing the good shirts.
That's why you're wearing the good shirts? I figured that might be your answer. Oh, my phone is blazing hot now, too.
It's because
you know what happened?
I'm standing next to it.
It is. It's feeling the heat. No, what happened was I literally hadn't thought about it, and I recorded all of that to my iPad, and I have now consumed the entire processor on my iPad. That's why it shut down and couldn't.
Oh, because it was full.
Yeah, and then even though I deleted I couldn't get anywhere. It was crazy.
Well, if it helps any, Nick from IT and I have been in cahoots, and it was not an internet problem.
No,
it was
not. It was me. I filled up everything.
Well, I wasn't going to say you. I was going to say that it was the software problem, even though I did say on the chat that it may or may not have been you.
Right. You just like to blame me. That's how it is.
No, it's just every time there's always IT. There's always something.
No. I know. It's always.
There's always something, and it's something that we can't control. It's gremlins and yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna see how good my new glasses are too.
You see, she uses pins. She didn't even stab herself or bleed on the fabric.
Those sharp, pointy objects. I know. I just can't get a phone or a camera over that needle.
Okay.
Let's move on.
We're going to need to move on.
I mean, just have fun.
Okay, you can press.
I will.
Get that out of your way, baby.
Oh, wonderful.
Right on. Like, if it ain't going to work, let's not make it.
I'm going to try to finish this block.
Okay.
And we need to call those names.
Okay, are we still on block one?
Yes, I'm finishing block one right now. We're going to call some names and give some money away, and then we'll move on to the next units.
Great.
How do you feel? And we're going to have to fly through some units.
Okay.
After lunch.
I'm just going to stand nice and close to Andrew here while I call out the names because he's got the microphone on. Okay, we're calling out 6 names. If you're
You could take his microphone. You can tell him to say goodbye.
Oh, yeah. No, he doesn't have to say goodbye. I like what he's doing. You keep helping Tiffany, and I'm going to go into...
Listen, I'm here for her, not for you.
I know. Makes total sense to me. Okay. Okay, folks. So if you just somehow tuned in, thank you so much for coming back for our New Year's Day Mystery Quilt Along. You are watching Stitchin Heaven live. And we have, if you didn't hear what happened, I actually filled up the entire iPad I was using as the production device. And now I have a great excuse to treat myself to a new one. Nonetheless,
You've wanted a new one.
I know. I've been waiting. I've had that thing forever. So at any rate, thank you for giving me taco and technology break. I feel so much better. We are going to give away $50 to 6 people. I have their names. If you hear your name called on this live feed, please comment winner, winner, chicken dinner. At this point, if you don't hear your name called, please do not comment winner, winner, chicken dinner, because we're using smaller amounts of technology now to monitor all of the comments. Okay, so we have $50. Oh yeah, and I broke that earlier too, tripping over the computer cords. Okay, so I believe we have Elaine Tryon. How do you say that? A-L-A-I-N? Elaine.
Yep, good job.
Tyrion. Okay, Janice Fearbaugh. Becky hyphen Christensen, excuse me. And I'm sorry, folks, I'm terrible at this. Karen Werner.
Look at that. You did that one good.
I did. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Lynn Nielsen versus Nelson, or I could have messed that one up pretty easily. And then Marion Osborne. So Elaine, Janice, Becky, Karen, Lynn, Marion, please, winner chicken dinner in the comments below. We're going to give you a few extra minutes at the moment because we know that there are still folks getting onto this feed. I have put the links on this feed or on the other feeds. I have not put the pattern link on this. At the end of the day, I will make sure all of the pattern links are on the final recording, and we will also have those again on the Facebook group.
Right.
And we will also make sure those pattern links are available. Maybe we can send you another final email. So make sure that you are definitely registered at stitchinheaven.com. I think I'm going to try to take my brain out of technology troubles at this point. I just want to do some sewing. What do you guys think? Okay.
But I do this last seam.
Yes, please. Okay.
And when she does, I'm going to do the magic. After I iron that, I'm going to throw an army smoke grenade and poof, be gone.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So we
That
don't.
way you can sew.
Yeah, nice.
Or try to.
I wonder if I could still zoom in a little. Oh, it doesn't tell me where I'm zooming to, though.
Lynn just messaged.
Yay, Lynn! Winner chicken dinner!
1 out of 6, right?
That's good. Yeah. Okay. We got Lynn connected in. Fantastic. Okay. We've got blocks going. Oh, and you got my block up on the wall. This is not going so poorly after all. I just got to find my cup of coffee.
Oh,
Oh.
what? That's yours?
Oh, were you drinking this one? Poof.
I'd be careful.
Coffee.
He likes his coffee a little strong.
Here's the situation that I'm a little disappointed about, though. We got before you poof and smoke grenade, I need one more favor from you.
Okay.
We were going to do something where we ended up all jumping in the pond or ice buckets over the head or something like that.
Yeah.
I was going to do it to get people to buy stuff, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do on these kinds of events.
Right.
But I think that these people have been so nice all day long. Do you think we should just do it regardless? Just as a thank you for sticking with us, we'll have one more live feed this afternoon down by the pond with a couple of all-stars and jerseys and some buckets of ice. Or do you think we ought to make them do something now? I don't have any of my advertisement stuff because I had to go.
It's not loaded, yeah.
Yeah, it's not loaded because I'm using my iPhone for production. So I say
do you have kits to sell this time?
Well, you know what I really wanted to do is we got this. Well, because I was thinking it was going to be cold, right?
Which it is. Have you not been outside?
Well, that's the thing is it's January out here. So let's see, what camera do I have using? We're using these mink. Okay, so we just had the Quilting Expo, and it was amazing. And I had this wonderful video that Elijah made, and I wanted to put that up after lunch. That was going to be the kind of the roll into this stuff. I was going to pull other stuff. I know we have enough of these Shannon kits. The Shannon kits are these awesome. I hope that's not making
Dude, they're
too
so
much noise.
soft.
I know. It's all of the wonderful Cuddle fabric, minky fabric from Shannon. There's different textures and there's all kinds of different designs. We have these on our website, stitchinheaven.com. So what I could say is maybe for, what do you want to do? Every 10 kits?
Yeah.
Every 10 kits that move.
At least one all-star.
At least one all-star will get a bucket of a 5-gallon bucket of ice over their head.
Yep.
And if we can get all the way to me, I'll go last.
Yep.
I'll get in that trash can full of ice water.
So we'll start with the newest members and work to the oldest members.
Oh,
sounds like a great
and
idea.
because the liaison to the newest members is not here to outvote or to protect his members,
Right.
therefore the new Lady All-Stars will be the first
To get
dunked.
Yes.
Yes, I like the way you work. This is great. Oh, did you want to join the club?
Now's your chance.
This is it.
I'm gonna-
We're still taking applications.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is tomorrow too late?
No. Poof. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do.
Rob, did Tiffany sew your block?
Yes, she did.
I can tell.
Yeah, thanks.
Somebody's asking about the weather and how murky that water is.
Oh, that water is murky.
Folks, I heard your concerns last year, and I really feel like ever since I got that cream, the rash has cleared up.
Oh,
And
good.
Yeah, it's better. So we will not actually get in the pond this year. It is pretty murky. It's actually really shallow is the sad part of it. So we have buckets of clean ice water.
No, I think that's best.
Yeah, that is best.
And it is 51 degrees outside.
And
So it's still going to be cold.
It's going to be cold.
An ice bucket over your head is still
Yeah,
going to be cold.
and I just didn't want to soil my jersey in the pond. So this way,
because it may taint the clearness of the white that's
Oh.
in the jersey.
you thought it
Maybe
would?
murky
Have
water.
you not seen the pond?
Yes, the pond is very murky.
Okay, great. So we're going to move a bunch of these Shannon kits. This is an audible. This is the easiest thing for us to do. Whatever one of our wonderful Shannon products we have is these fun packet kits. I think they're only like $50. They're fun. These are their different prices based on how much is in there. That one's
nice.
50. This one's 57. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So at any rate, enjoy the fun. If you haven't stitched with this stuff, we'll do a video real soon on some of the techniques and tricks. We learned a bunch at Expo of great ways to help sew with this and stuff. But anyway, and they're great for quilt backings. And I know both of you love
Hey,
to do your
and not
quilting.
to steal your show for any longer, but
Yeah.
thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Do we have any other winners? I'm sorry. I no longer have access to any comments. I can't see a thing.
They're needing you to I put it in the chat.
Right?
Good.
Would you say them again?
I would love to say them again. That's fine. I have Elaine, Tyrion. We have Janice Fearbaugh, Becky Yo Christensen, Karen Werner, and Marion Osborne are the winners we're still looking for. And we're going to still give you a few more minutes, folks. Again, this is all for you, so there's no reason to rush through it. We just want to make sure you're all having fun out there. And again, I showed you a couple of the different kits that are available, and I ran through and grabbed those early this morning because I thought they would be awesome. I thought they would be, I was hoping maybe we could stitch up one for like a nice robe or something to wear. Remember when Deb last year brought me that wonderful blanket to get out of? That's where I got inspired by that. Well, it was a wonderful fleece and all that together. Okay, well, this looks like we're going.
How to order the Shannon kit.
The order your Shannon kit, simply go to stitchinheaven.com. They should be on the website. That was my understanding. And probably just type in the word Shannon in our search bar.
I would think so.
Yeah. Do you want to try that and confirm? Okay.
Trisha's going to try that. Why don't we get them going on the next unit?
That's right. Oh, and you keep saying that because you're actually asking me to come over here and get the stuff. Because it's over here.
Oh, it's over there.
Yeah, the stuff is over here. Because look, I had actually those ones I didn't, Tiffany didn't sew those ones, Andrew. So.
You gave me this.
The bad one?
You gave me this.
Oh, did you show that?
No.
Oh, good. Wasn't overhead. How'd that one get in there?
I don't know.
Oh, I know how it got in there. I was stacking them so I could sew them. All right, here we go. So I am going to go to the overhead. I'm going to try to zoom in for everybody a little bit, and I'm just going to center this and leave it. We are moving on to unit number 4, folks. You now see both Tiffany's colorway and Rob's colorway. And because those of you who are following along live today, I'm simply going to point out this is the same steps as unit 1.
Yep.
Okay, so what we'll do for ease of sewing, and because one of the things I may have had too many cameras going, and that's why the iPad crashed. Nonetheless, I'm going to lay it out. So again, opposite sides. Make sure you have your right sides together. We're going to build this out 2 pieces at a time. And then here, Tiffany, if you want to put your piece right close to the paper, I think they'll be able to see it.
Sounds good.
And as a reminder, Tiffany's fabric is going to follow this series of instructions across the top, where she has her fabric F, and she's got her squares that are the G squares, and we're going to need to mark a straight line across those. Or, can I show this trick real quick?
Yes.
Do you like the fold trick?
Sure.
Okay, so right now, I'm just going to go ahead and take a piece of fabric, one of those squares, and I'm hitting it with a quick press. And that also makes a nice little sewing line. So let me do that for you, or would you rather me mark them?
No, you're fine.
Okay. So now, like we did in step 1, the very first thing we did together today, We're going to do the same thing here, but it's now going to be called Unit 4. It is different fabric, folks.
Yep, same construction method, different fabric pieces. Different colors and different alphabet letters on them.
Yeah, so do make sure that if you're working from your stash or from our pre-cuts, you just make sure you're working with the right letters.
Which are what? F and G.
F and G.
And I'm just going to sew over here where you can't see me because that's how it's got to go down.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll still get it made.
They can see, you're not really close. They can't see that you're sewing right on that line. So maybe what we could do is, before we trim, we'll show them what you did on the overhead camera. That can work. Do you want to stitch my pieces too?
Sure.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do here real quick is show them on the overhead camera that the drawn line that you did as your homework, or the folded line I just created with the iron, was right where the threads go. It's not a edge guide. It is the actual stitching line. And then, as we were teaching earlier, we're going to trim this off using a 1/4 inch to protect my work. Here and here. And did you want to press those open? Do you want me to press them open? Okay.
I can't read it.
Oh, your mic needs to be louder, which means you just need to put it up closer, or did it die on battery already? Oh, no, it's died on battery already. Excellent. Yep. Okay. So for a moment, we'll do that. I can switch microphones without causing too much technology issues. And I just got a piece of information that the kits are not online.
They just came in.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were here for Expo, and I got so excited about them. I thought
right,
they were online. Okay, well, let's do this. We're going to fix your mic first.
Okay. You want to trade mics with me while you go fix mine?
Yep. And you just teach them how to do the rest of your steps and press and all that and mine. And I'm going to figure this out.
All right.
All right. Yep.
Rob would have pressed this.
And I ran and found that the other microphones were missing a microphone.
Oh, goodness.
That's a no goodness situation. Hoping they're hearing it now.
Can you guys hear me now?
It'll be a few till we get confirmation.
Right.
I think so.
We think so? We hope so.
I hope so.
Yes.
Yay! Somebody can hear us. We are back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna condense what I said, but basically what I was saying when you couldn't hear me was that to complete the quilt, you will need 15 of this unit. This is unit 4, but for today, if you're just trying to get through making a block, you only need to get one of these done. And I've managed to get one in each colorway done. So hopefully you're strolling along with me and you will get at least one of these units made in the next few minutes. Before we move on, but we are also going to double check on our winners in a minute.
So far, we've only had Lynn.
So far,
messaging.
only Lynn has messaged in.
We'll give them another minute.
Give you another minute and
And then we're going to work on another list.
okay. Do you want me to try to butcher those same names one more time?
Yes, please.
I didn't.
Yes,
I did
please.
not have the honor of attempting to butcher everybody's name. Okay, I'm going to have to move that closer. No, I got glasses. I'm okay. Huh. I'm going to go off the pronunciations that I think I had heard already. So I'm going to go with Elaine Thurion and Janice Firebaugh. I've got Becky Yeo Christensen, Karen Werner, and Marion Osborne. And these are for a $50 gift certificate to Stitchin Heaven. So if you are any of those 5 I just listed, you'll want to write in the comments, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and only those people. And if you're having some issue writing in the comments for some reason, just send an email to rob@stitchinheaven.com and we'll monitor that as well and see if we can give away that money.
Oh, there's Christy. Christy is messaging. She heard her name earlier. We didn't hear her.
Oh,
Great.
I think we're good to award that, don't you?
Stephanie says honor.
I honor that. Christy, we got your message. What was Christy's last name? Markson. Christy, we hear you. We saw you. And we're giving you that gift card.
Okay.
So, hi, sir.
Hi there.
Did you take a deep breath yet?
Yes.
And you
I've
have
taken
coffee?
a deep cup of coffee.
You've taken a deep cup of coffee.
And we have one microphone to share now.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So at this point, I'm going to make everyone a New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop trying to make this work and just make a quilt. Let's just make the quilt.
Let's just make the quilt.
Right? Like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to refresh and say our goal is to make a quilt and give away gift cards.
Oh, that's right. That is. Yeah, because we still can give away gift cards. That's
we can
easy
give away
enough.
gift cards.
And when you promised this morning the expectations, I really appreciate my internal system taking over and realizing that, because see, I was hoping that we were going to secretly sew through all the parts on my blocks today, and then I was going to actually have my quilt finished. And I think I got ahead of self. And you know what happens when you get ahead of yourself? You get out over your skis a little too far, and then you run out of bobbin thread, and then you sew the wrong colors together, and then your seam ripper goes dull and these things. So I really believe, as you were telling me earlier, quilting is about enjoyment. And I think a lot of people come here for quilting to enjoy.
Yes.
And to settle and to get through their other, what were we calling it, the struggle bus issues in their life, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm doing a poor job of using my release today. So I'm going to release, and let's
You're
just
going
have
to
some
release.
fun. Yeah. So, anyways, folks, I'm going to stop pushing buttons and just let's make quilts.
Let's make quilts. Well, look at this.
No, they're giving lots of encouragement over there.
Oh, great.
Y'all are doing great. Tech problems happen.
That's true.
You know,
Thank you.
You're working hard. You're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We do appreciate that.
That is
I said, take a deep breath.
Yeah, here
You know
together.
You know what it is they really want us to get in that pond.
I know they do that. All right,
Could we do it in the hot tub instead? Yeah. Maybe. You know what? If all things go south, we could abandon the mission of being cold and just go to a mission of being warm.
Yes.
and just get in your hot tub instead
Yeah,
afterwards. That
it's
could be fun in our jerseys.
it's ready. It's set. It's 102 degrees.
That sounds nice right now.
Doesn't
Okay.
it? Okay, so this is
You
unit
want to
1.
teach. This is unit 1. Unit 4.
Unit 4. Thank you.
Unit 4, which is the same
Same.
as unit 1
In different colors.
Oh, we're finishing each other's sandwiches. I love this.
Yeah, now you're quoting Disney movies.
Maybe. Are you smiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Unit 1. You ready for unit 5?
Yes, that was unit 4. Let's go to unit 5.
Awesome. Okay. Now
I'm gonna put these on the wall.
Please do.
Okay, I'm gonna move our blocks
Oh, right.
down.
Okay.
Just down. You don't need 2 up there. Let's just take, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
That one jumped.
That one jumped.
Okay, let's pull down, let's not be confusing. Let's pull down all your extras from block 1.
That makes sense.
And mine too. Let's just move on. Look at you being organized.
That's right. Okay, so no, these are from earlier.
Correct. All right. I think we have regrouped.
I love it.
So here is unit 5. You can post.
Yep, overhead camera so we can see that nice there.
Okay.
Okay, and so for these, like in our unit 2, the same house shape
Yes.
with the same corners that'll be stitched on.
Correct.
So my house shape for the Rob colorway is the light or medium blue, and then I have the 2 of the deeper reds, which will go in here just like this to complete it. Again, I am right-handed, so I seem to always sew that right side on first, like yay.
I shall sew. These are
Okay.
pieces H and I. H and I.
2 I's, 1 H.
You want to
Perfect.
share this mic?
I know
sew?
I'm loud enough. If you wear it, I'll just keep coming to you.
okay.
I think I'm louder than you are. So yeah, we're going to do those. Now, folks, with that, and I'll stand here. So like earlier, we need 4 of these also. And please, I'm going to give you the spoiler alert right now. Of course, we're not just going to make unit number 3 in the next step, right? We got to mix it up for you. So yes, these instructions are the same as they were this morning, but they're different fabrics and working together slightly differently into the rest of the block. But you will still need 4 of these to complete 1 block, 60 of these total to complete the quilt top as determined. Want me to press that for us?
Yeah, I just opened it. I just
okay.
I finger pressed it open. If you just give it a little heat.
Oh,
Do it your way.
No, that was what I was just going to ask you. When you finger press it, do you come from the seam side or from the right sides?
When I
When
press
you're
with the
pressing open
iron?
like this, yeah. You still want me to go in
Yeah.
on this side, right?
Yeah. Yes. That was awful. We teach our little people not to say yeah, and here I am doing it. I try to avoid the ums and the yas, but
Right.
they sneak out.
They do. That they do.
That
you
they
betcha.
do.
And I'm going to need 4 for my project as well. I'm just going to lay those out so when we get into a little bit of sewing catch-up time, which we'll have here in a bit.
Yes, because we'll work on prizes again as soon as
Yes.
we talk through unit 5.
Oh, Trish is over there
Then-
writing like crazy for the
That's
prizes.
awesome.
Okay.
As soon as we talk through unit 5, I will sew the unit 5s and you will work on prizes, and I will pass the microphone to you for that.
Okay.
So that was Rob's colorway and the H and the I's, and now I need to do mine. And mine, the H is actually this beautiful purplish fabric. It didn't show up that way. It's not as purple on the solid version in the pattern, but that's just because of where I pulled the color out of the batik. And I need piece I, which is these lovely dark greens. I'm just doing enough at this moment to get me 1 piece, and then while you do prizes, I'll sew all the pieces.
Okay.
Can you press those like you did?
Sure.
Thanks. Rather than draw. I also do have diagonal seam tape, so I'm
I
kind
was
of
gonna
watching that
ask you,
too.
Do you want to do one without any pressing or just use...
Either way.
Well, here's one that's pressed, and I'll get you the other one pressed.
Okay.
The only reason I don't like the pressing as much as I like as a drawn line is, did you notice that one got a little wonky?
Yeah.
I kind of moved it a little bit, and so your Tiffany's straight line isn't a perfectly straight line now because I kind of bowed with it a little bit.
I'm good with that. That gives me an excuse if my points aren't perfect.
There you go. You can write that one down for Andrew too, maybe. He's going to need that excuse eventually.
Hey, you know what I did want to do
Hmm.
that I don't think we've done yet is I wanted to do a great shout out to the groups that are sewing.
That is right.
I
Oh,
saw on the Facebook group that there were people who had volunteered to either open their house to have other people come. Some people rented a hall
I saw
somewhere. I know there's at least one quilt store that is participating. It's Cup of Tea Quilts. If there's another quilt store, go ahead and put your quilt store in the comments, and we'll give you
Yeah.
a shout out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I know I have a friend Lori up in Canada, and she's got 8 or 9 people in her sewing room sewing. So this is great for people who physically want to get together in a big group, like our retreat center and quilt stores and groups of people. But I feel like this is also great for the people that can't get out or that don't have just moved and don't have friends right near them. You're still able to interact on this live and then on the Facebook group. And it's so encouraging to see other people going through the same process.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel?
I was most excited when I saw the post in the Facebook group that said, and I don't remember which state it was. I'm sorry, folks. But it was, we are sewing together at a community center in this little town. Come on by, $10 covers lunch and space rental or something like that.
Right.
And I thought it was so neat that they were opening it up to the general public of quilters in their area versus just their close friends, because this is actually how we meet new people. And that's why I like going to quilt classes and doing so many of the other events. Partly what's going on over right now in the retreat center, and folks, if you were watching earlier, I was going to start to share with you a bunch of the different retreats that Tiffany is doing this year, as well as a couple of them are actually also with Michael Davidson. Now, you're both teaching your own different projects and things.
Right. So I don't have a single retreat scheduled at the retreat center.
Oh,
mine are on cruises.
Ships. I'm sorry. Thank you
That's
for correcting
okay.
me. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Tiffany's doing a ton of cruises. And the reason I was starting to think about the cruises is because the people in the retreat center right now, several of those folks met on the Patriot cruise.
Yep.
And then they came together for my Fabric Fusion retreat back in August here at the retreat center. And then we realized that we had this opportunity. So when we do a camp-based quilt retreat at Stitchin Heaven, there's no hosting teacher. So it's a free sew, but today they're working on this project, but it's a discounted event in comparison to having a big teacher come out, a national educator, right?
Right.
So what I have learned this year, because I've traveled to Land Ahoy's, the retreats and the cruises, I have met a bunch of new friends. And not only, I always meet quilters, but now I've met quilters that like to travel.
Right.
And do stuff.
Right.
And so it's amazing. I didn't think I would ever have a group of folks, maybe 6 or 8 folks, that I could say, hey, do you want to go here? Hey, do you want to go there? And so far, most of us have been making these trips. I think we've already sewn together. In 2024, I think we maybe had sewn together 4 to 5 times as a small group of quilters from all around the United States.
That's awesome.
I know. And the relationships that have been built out of that have just been incredible.
I also want to say, you mentioned Land Ahoy's, just in case you're brand new to Stitchin Heaven to us. So we have the retreat center, we have cruises. And if you want to know about cruises, yeah, I can tell you all about the cruises. They're my favorite thing. And then we have this thing called Land Ahoy. And we did this during the pandemic when we couldn't get on cruise ships. Deb went out and found some hotels in some wonderful cities. And we're basically a cruise ship style quilt retreat on land at a hotel. So that's why we call it Land Ahoy.
I like those because I still have to take a lot of seasick medicine for the cruises. And I don't get a seasick at the Land Ahoy's.
Right. And I just love the ships. I don't get seasick. So going on the ships is fabulous for me. And it's my favorite thing. My favorite thing. And I found out, we'll do that later. I found out that yesterday they posted a brand new quilt cruise that I'm teaching on next year. And so we have the quilt here to show later.
We have to remember our show and tell. Yeah, we have show and tell on the back wall too.
Okay. Now I'm going to pass this off and you're going to do prizes because we've got... Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Where was it? She just asked, Jennifer, how do you transport your sewing machine when you fly? or on our cruises and retreats.
Okay,
Do you
so
want to
I
take
will
that?
answer that. So on the retreats, if you are able
I'm
to,
going to stop you.
yes.
I don't have a microphone on Trish. Can you repeat the question,
Oh,
please?
yes. The question was, how do you get your sewing machine to any of these events, right?
Yeah.
So the answer to that is if you are coming on a retreat here and you can drive, obviously you can bring your machine. If you are far enough that you have to fly, there is a way to transport your machines. Most people that I have seen who fly with their machines have a featherweight and they put it in the overhead compartment of the airplane. I personally have never done that, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to, but we have, correct me if I'm wrong, at this moment, I believe the correct information is that you can rent a sewing machine here for our retreats.
Yes.
Okay. If you go on a land ahoy with us or a cruise with us, there is a machine provided for you to use during that event. And they are, if I'm correct, currently Bernina 475s.
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
So when you arrive at a land ahoy or on a cruise ship, we have set up the tables. We have tried to group you with your friends if you're coming as a group. We have tried to group you as in if you are working only with one of the two projects that we're doing, we try to get you on the first day with that teacher. But you basically walk in and your name is attached to a sewing machine and that is your location.
Yeah. Swag bag in the chair, ready to rock and roll.
Swag bag in your chair, machine is oiled and full of thread and ready to go.
New bobbins, because that's what we do the day before.
Yeah,
Yep.
we do the work. I get on cruise ships and people are like, oh, you got the best gig ever. You just get to teach on a ship. And I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of work that goes with that.
Yeah, we're in the but 8 a.m. till 10 p.m.
Yeah, and it's not just the teaching and the socializing and the making sure everybody is okay. It's the setup before, it's the tear down after. I don't want to say woe is me, but it's not just like show up and and play. It's
I lucked out because when I went on mine, I had Mark, Quilting Marine, and Andrew, who everyone just met, and so it was the three of us hustling machines, and we went assembly line style. One guy taking them apart, the next guy cleaning them, the next guy reassembling them, and then I had to go back behind Andrew and fix everything anyways. So that was pretty fun. Okay, let's give away a prize. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, this is it, Trish. That's a nice prize.
I know, and this customer, this person keeps talking. I keep seeing her.
Oh, we know she's online. Okay, here we go. Trish is excited. I hope you're still out there. I got $100 for Jeanette Yeager. Jeanette, if you're still watching, please winner chicken dinner in the comments below, and we'll get you taken care of. That would be awesome. So Jeanette Yeager, we pulled your name for $100 gift card. And we would love to know that you're out there. We'll give you a few minutes to comment with the winner chicken dinner. And I'll keep pressing these as we go. And so, yeah, Tiffany, that's exciting. I know we were talking a bit about the quilt cruises coming up. And I did have a fun little slideshow for that as well. And is there one of the three that you're doing that you're more excited about than the rest?
Yeah.
Or which one?
The one that just got posted is on Icon of the Seas. And I know, okay, so like you prefer to be on land, I prefer to be on the ocean.
Right.
But there are different categories of ships, and there are smaller ships, and then there's the medium ships, and then there's the big ships. And Royal Caribbean has Icon of the Seas, and it is one of the biggest ships, and I've never been on it, and I am excited. So, I'm excited to quilt. I'm excited to have the quilters, but this, for me, that's the new bell and whistle going on, is that I get to see the big ship.
Okay, and so yes, even though I've mentioned before, and I did not get seasick because I was on the, the Western Caribbean, they call it, something like that. And it was really nice, calm waters, but also, we were on a larger ship. It wasn't as big as Icon, but I also found, I love the elegance of everything and the way it was set up. But now I know why my grandfather used to always take the family on family reunions. My grandmother was in a wheelchair. And so it was very challenging for us to travel a lot. But once we got on a cruise ship, they could unpack into their room, and then the rest of us could all do as we needed. We could come and go as we wanted, but we could all gather together and stuff. And so that's what I found most fun, was watching everybody in the camaraderie outside. Oh, here you go.
Oh, I need one more.
And hanging out together after the dinners. There was a serious mini golf tournament one night with some of us, water slides, going on the excursions, all of that kind of stuff was really wonderful.
Right. So first off, if you've been on a cruise ship and you love cruising, and you're a quilter and you love quilting, there's nothing better than cruising and quilting. And the quilting room on the cruise ship is open 24/7.
Oh, that's the other. Yeah, right. Because a lot of places, and even in a hotel, you're like at 5:01, out you go. Right?
Not that early.
No.
But it is.
Yeah.
But on the ship, you can sew 24/7. So if you're going into a port that you've been to before, or you just for some reason have no desire to go off the ship and into that port, you can stay and sew all day long.
Yeah.
So there are people that do that. There's just so many. And okay, so where I was going was if you've never been on a cruise ship, the new ships, if you're worried about getting seasick, the new ships are generally, they have better ballasts and they're big ships and they don't rock unless the ship has come through where there was a storm. You will still get some rocking, but most of the time they're pretty smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm almost done.
There you go. And I got my 4 up on the wall, which is pretty slick, I think. I'll step out of the way so you can see them coming together there. Did you already, she must have already?
Okay,
Jeanette? Oh, she claimed it.
I messed up.
Oh, and you said it was Jeanette. Sorry, Jeanette. I was calling you Janet, I think. I'm sorry. And here I said, you messed up. Was it me? What did I do?
I can't fix this one. I have to remake this one. It's supposed to look like a house.
Oh, that's good thing I didn't trim those.
It's too late.
Oh, that one is too late. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you're making the house shape. Do you want to finish it or should we just move on?
I think we should move on.
Okay. We're making quilts. Moving on. Okay. So now we have, and this is going to be fun though. Let's go on to the next step using only your pieces because I got carried away and made so many of mine that I've actually pre-prepped somebody else's kit.
Okay.
Because I had one leftover kit.
Well,
Actually, maybe not true. I think it's actually spoken for. I've just been doing the work for
Work
them.
on this unit together
Yes.
with my fabric.
Yes. I can show you the pre-step if you want.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, here we go. Coming into the overhead again. And these were the fabrics that we sent you all a little extra homework with. And
so we are moving to unit 6.
yeah, I wonder if we just did that.
I don't know. I'm going to hold it.
You hold it. Yeah. Okay. So unit 6, this is the base work of, actually, I think it becomes unit 7. This is forget how we have it labeled. Can you see in the instructions?
Oh, this is the base. Yeah, this is just base work for unit 6.
Yep, base work for unit 6. So what we're going to end up doing, yes, we're going to make half square triangles. We wouldn't, come on, folks. We wouldn't let you get away with not making some half square triangles. You loved them so much the last few years. And once again, thank you, Jerry, one of the all-stars, for reminding me, as always, there's more than one way to skin a cat or cut a quilt square. So anyways, this year we're playing with the 8 at a time. I put up another little video a few weeks ago to help folks that had never done this before. We asked you to make 6-inch squares. So whether it was a pre-cut kit or a stash builder kit, you're using 6-inch squares.
Oh, I didn't realize that in the pre-cut.
Yeah, they came as 6-inchers as well. So these are
cool.
from my pre-cut kit.
Oh, nice.
So what we ended up doing then is drawing 2 diagonal lines. And then these are going to go right sides together, which I also want to remind everybody to check on those reds in the Rob colorway kit. Make sure we're going right sides together. And then these are going to be guidelines. But I actually have already made mine and I don't need to. So you want to make yours and show them the same steps?
Yeah. So
okay.
I have something to tell you about mine because I made a mistake in my chunk cutting kit and I cut way too many of piece E from this color before I cut my 6-inch squares. So first thing I want to say to that is you should usually cut your larger pieces in any quilt pattern before the smaller pieces, right? And if you end up with not enough left, look what I had to do. Can you see my seam?
Barely, but I will confirm that there is certainly a seam there, but looks between like about a 3.5 and a 2.5 inch strip or something like
It's
that.
what I had left.
It's what you had left, and then you trimmed them down into squares.
Yes.
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 Yes. That happens. And folks that have the pre-cut kits, I have promised you great accuracy. However, all of the pieces do eventually have to be hand counted and put into packages.
Yes.
So I can tell you that there might be, probably not, because we found a bit of a early on production situation on these larger squares. You should all have enough, but remember, our number one mission statement at Stitchin Heaven is really to wow people. Also have fun and be happy, but if you can wow people, you're already having fun. You know, you're already being happy, I believe. And so we have 100% happiness guarantee here. If for any reason, I'm going to do this right now. For any reason, let me reiterate, folks. For any reason your pre-cut kit doesn't work, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. We will. Because here's the deal. The pre-cut kits, you don't have extra. You only have the right pieces. But because it's pre-cut, you shouldn't have had such a mistake. But it's not impossible that you could have such a mistake. So we've got your back. Don't worry about it. You will need to email into customer service, info@stitchinheaven.com. Of course, if you email today, they're probably not going to get back to you for another couple of days because we are being inundated with communications today. Thank you again for all your support out there.
Yep.
But yeah, this is
a holiday.
And it's a holiday. And you know, we just have Gracie and Trish working as fast as they can. Their fingers are bleeding to doing the typing so
Right.
fast.
And I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that most people take extra days around this time of the holiday. So we probably, I don't know this for a fact, we are probably not full staffed for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think we're going to be laying a little low ourselves a little bit. So
Trish is nodding.
Yeah, good point.
So
yes.
Give us a little bit, you know,
yeah.
I mean, we are a big company and we have a lot of employees and we try really hard to respond as fast as possible, but it's still not a huge company, right. And we still have to get through life.
I have a question for all of you that are still tuned in though. And I know a lot of you, by the way, we did break our kit goals this year and you definitely sold more than I did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was a beautiful quilt kit. So I'm on our cruises because you're in the middle of the ocean and there's no way to fix anything.
Okay.
Right? We actually bring on board what we call oops kits.
Yep.
And we have them as the staff, but we have parts and pieces of everything cut over. So I'm almost wondering, would it be better or would it be more confusing to people that bought pre-cut kits if we included enough parts and pieces for a couple extra units?
You'd have to take that up with the production team. My initial response is to say no, because we try to double count. We randomly take a kit and count it. We try our best to have it perfect when it goes out.
Right.
So I would be curious to see what our percentage is of kits that are missing a piece.
Sure. I know early on when people were receiving their kits before we've gone through today's video, they were concerned, but they weren't sure if they really had what they needed or not.
Exactly.
So I guess it really would mean how many of the kits did we end up having a concern with? And my guess, you want to make a wager? And you know what we always bet around here? 1 yard of fabric. Okay. You want to make a wager? I'm going to go with less than 7 kits. Over 325 kits have shipped. Less than 7 kits have a problem in them, is my guess. I have no idea right now.
So how are we doing this wager? Either it's less than 7 or more than 7, so I have to take more than 7?
No, you can pick any number too, and then we could both be right or wrong. I don't know. I'm just making up the rules as we go along, as I've done all day long.
I'm going to go with 3 kits.
You're going to go with 3 kits. Okay, so then you've heard it here today, folks. Whoever is closest to the right answer of how many kits out of 325 actually had a real problem in them. Tiffany's going with 3. I'm going with 7.
And either I owe you a
yard of fabric of my choice.
Okay.
Yeah. And it can be out of your stash. again. We are now hot swapping mics. 90 more minutes on the schedule. We can do this.
We can do
We
this.
can do anything for 90 minutes, right?
Is that how the story goes? 90 minutes? Oh boy.
Okay, we got sound back up. Awesome. Okay. Yes, folks, I now have the microphones. I'm swapping them out to recharge them as quickly as I can. Okay.
Oh.
Before you cut this too, I'm wondering, can they see on the other side? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to help you.
No, you're going to cut.
Yes. But, oh yeah, I'm going to cut this. But so folks, here, as you're looking at the Magic 8 style, we have white thread on white fabric with the chalk line. So it's really hard to see any of the diagramming and the stitching. But if I flip it over here, I can see everything that's going on with the stitching, and you can see what's going on with the stitching. So I'm going to actually cut from this side, and I want just a little bit larger ruler and cutter. And so, folks, what I've learned to do here is you have the drawn lines between your thread lines. If things start to slip around, those drawn lines are going to remain. So what I first want to do, and partly what Tiffany engineered was, we don't need as much as the 6-inch square, but a 3-inch cut into the middle is super easy. So I'm looking at a 3-inch edge, and my seam allowance, or excuse me, my thread crosses are right there at the center. So what I'm asking you all to do first is to cut the non-drawn line. So we're going to cut real quick through, and then the next trick is I'm going to peel my ruler up so nothing has moved here. I would normally use one of my Efficient Susan mats, but of course that also got on the trouble bus this morning and rolled away. So now I'm just going to do the struggle bus. It's driving the struggle bus. So now as I've done that, I technically have cut 4 squares. Hopefully you can see them.
I'm going to do this and I'm going to
Sure.
put it back. Here's the square.
Sure.
And it goes right back.
Yep. And actually, I'm not nervous if that happens because I have that drawn line, right?
Right.
So even if that did happen, I would be going from point to point where that drawn line is. Normally, I'm looking at the drawn line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to reiterate, I flip it over. There's that drawn line, and that's why we cut the non-drawn lines first. Because if you cut the drawn lines, these would be very hard to trim down the other direction. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that said, we still need to trim these things out.
Right. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half square triangles. So we will end up with things that look like this, half square triangles, but these are not the right size.
No, but they're pretty dang close, but they do need to be trimmed down. So let's go back to our main cam so everyone can see. Tiffany and I are both big fans of both of these products. This is the Clearly Perfect Slotted Trimmer, and this is the Block Lock tool. Ah, perfect. Okay, Clearly perfect. Put that up on the overhead camera there because it's hard to see. And so this here makes it so it is very efficient and also very accurate. The way the slotted trimmer works is we cut before we press the seams.
Okay, before we get here, should we show them? If they don't have a slotted trimmer, should we start with just a square ruler?
Yes.
To trim down a half square triangle?
Yes.
Because that's probably what you have.
It's a great idea.
Is either a rectangular or square ruler. I prefer the square. You prefer the square because it has a diagonal line, usually. Now, every company does their rulers a little bit different. Yep. You need that. I think you need that.
Yes, I really think you need that. Now,
so let's just move this over.
And the only difference is, while we're doing these, slotted trimmer, as I was mentioning, we don't press.
Correct.
But for all other methods, we do press first. So
Correct.
You're right. We should start by pressing a few, but I'm not going to press them all so we can show you this other stuff.
Wonderful.
We're going to press to the dark side.
Sure.
And for these folks, you do have several of them to make. And I'm going to give you a little head start. These are going to go into other parts and pieces, and it will be very nice for the nesting if you press every one of your half square triangles to the dark side.
There you
Make
go.
sure you press them all in the same direction for the next steps we're going to share with you after Tiffany teaches you how to trim these down.
All right. I'm going to start with this one. I want to trim down to 2.5 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do is set my ruler. I'm in the good zone.
You're in the great zone.
I'm going to set my ruler down so that my diagonal line on the square is right on the piecing of this half square triangle. I need to make sure that when I trim my first two sides that I'm not making it smaller than 2.5 inches, because that's what our goal is to get to 2.5 inches. So I'm going to trim this side and this side. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate this around, which a Lazy Susan one would work fine, but I didn't have one in front of me, so that's okay. And I'm going to then set this ruler. This is a Creative Grids, and it has a 1/2 inch start measurement on the side. So I can see that where it says 2.5, I have 1, 2.5 on both sides here. And just want to make sure I'm lined up nice and neat. And I'm going to give my trimming cuts. And so now that is perfect 2.5 inch half square triangle.
Yep.
Okay, I'm moving on to the block lock ruler. We did not ask you to get anything extra this time. So if you have a block lock ruler and you have it with you and you say you don't even know how to use your block lock ruler, that's what I'm going to show you now. If you have it and it's your favorite tool, I still might show you a little trick, but I'm not sure about that. We'll see how it goes. So when I trim with a block lock ruler, I like the seam allowance, which has been pressed to the dark, to be closest toward me. And I like my block lock ruler to be able to say block lock so I can read it in this direction. I don't want it upside down or rotated around. And I do that because I then set the block lock ruler on here and it grabs that seam allowance. And it does that because there is a groove, a 1/4 inch groove in the back of this ruler. I'm not sure.
No,
doing great? Okay.
Yep.
So when I set it on here, it locks into this unit.
And I have 2 points I'd like to make.
Go for it.
Okay, so the first thing that I learned, and this is why I originally didn't love the block lock, is if you don't lock the under edge correctly, it's actually going to it's not going to cut to the corner, folks. Do you see that? So what I found is before this project, I was always guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Tiffany say she puts her seam in her lap so she can read the block lock. And what I found, because I also pressed my versions to the dark, is the word block lock was on my background fabric for this project.
Okay.
So that's why I was also making such a big deal about now pressing to the dark side. So when I press to the dark side, my block lock's on the light side.
Perfect.
And that made it so that no matter how the blocks were laying, I always knew where to drop my block lock to start. And that saved me so much more time. And I actually think this helped me be a little bit more efficient because the block lock you have pressed and now you're making a really super square cut with a ruler that's not going to slip around as much.
Exactly. So my little hints and techniques and your little hints and techniques are slightly different, but work for us. So you got to find what works for you.
Oh yeah, because
So
I couldn't make it work for the longest time, and then it was just
Right.
in this project.
But as soon as it works and the light bulb goes off, then the ruler works well for you.
Right.
So now I'm going to go back on. I'm going to just make sure I'm bigger than 2.5 inches when I do my first trims. So trim 1 and trim 2. And I'm going to move these pieces. And the next thing I do, and because it's locked in there, is you can rotate the whole thing around and slide it down.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I'm still, yeah. And I slide it to the 2.5 inch marks and I do my trims. Okay. And that gives me my second perfect half square triangle.
Loving it.
Okay, so that was a square ruler and a block lock ruler. And now we're on to the perfect slotted trimmer tools. And
Yes.
this one,
You need
I need
unpressed.
unpressed. And I saw yours were broken.
So mine are always in my suitcase. And I found that I had kind of snapped the tips off accidentally. And I have also found that I'm actually not using the slots of the slotted trimmer like I did originally when I first got it. I found that was a little bit less efficient. And so now I'm back to, I guess, where I've always been, which is the right tool for the right job.
exactly.
And I'm not
So
sure
let
what that is all the time.
So let me show you how I use it, and
Yeah.
then Rob can show you how.
No, we're going to leave Rob out of this
Oh,
one.
we're
You
gonna
go
leave Rob
ahead.
out of
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I'm breaking rulers and making a mess over here.
Is this clear? It is. Okay, so I want to put these on here so you can kind of see them. So let me get, there we go. So in the set of slotted trimmers, Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers, in their basic set, you get a trimmer A and a trimmer B, okay? There are other sets. They're not the original common sets, but that's what you want here for this project if you were going to get the slotted trimmers, trimmer A and trimmer B, and they are the most commonly used ones. And the reason I think they have made 2 trimmers and not 1 is if you combined all of this into one, it's very confusing and there's way too many slots, and I think they would break easily, more easily than even just traveling with in the suitcase. Just so happens I only need trimmer A because it says I need to cut at 2.5 inches, which will finish our square at 2. But right now we're worried about the 2.5 inches. So I am going to put this trimmer, and I have just a piece of glow tape on here because I use 2.5 very frequently. What you want is the dotted line to be on the stitching line of your half square triangle. And we have not opened this one yet. And we have not pressed this one either open or to the dark side. We just have not pressed it. Now I'm going to trim once, trim twice. I'm going to back in the little slot. I'm going to back in the little slot. And it doesn't scare me.
It scares me.
And I have a half square triangle, which now I can press any way I want to press it. And the dog ears are removed and it's perfect. But I have found one more way to make it even slightly faster, because I'm all about getting things trimmed and done and faster. So if I put my slotted trimmer tool on here and I slide it all the way to one side or the other, I'm going to slide it this way if I'm right-handed, I'm going to slide it the other way if I'm left-handed. And now I only need 1 trim and 2 times in the slots. And I have my half square triangle.
That's pretty cool.
So this is my favorite half square triangle trimming technique at the moment.
Yeah, I want to do one though too. You're right.
Okay.
I said I wasn't gonna, but now I'm going to because I have a slightly different technique that I use on the slotted trimmer that's a little bit more Team Rob, and I think these folks deserve a little bit more sloppy quilt making today from me. So here we go. What I'm going to do now, folks, one of the things we didn't point out is the thickness of our thread can technically affect the size of our, and so I like to make it so I can kind of see the thread, which makes it's going to mean a little bit larger block. And what I've learned to do here is I get it lined up, then I trim and I trim. But what I've also learned, this is my cheat, is I'm not using the dog ear sections here, but I've learned how to do that 45 pretty close so that when I come off of my ironing mat, boom, there it is. Dog ears are gone. And what that did for me is it just made it so I wasn't, now, since I've gotten my glasses, I haven't used this tool with the slots. Before I had my glasses, I was struggling to see it, and I kept dulling my blades by hitting the ruler.
Okay.
So sometimes, again, it's maybe not necessarily the tool, but the application or the user. We're going to need 8 of these half square triangles before we can move on.
Okay.
Really nice. You get 8 from one set of squares.
Actually, yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to now take yours and mine and combine, because I am going to slide mine all the way over to the edge. I like my cutter. I know. And I'm going to do 1 slit, and I'm going to do Rob's technique, and I'm going to do this. And that was even faster.
Can't disagree.
I've now added.
Can't disagree with that.
Yep.
Oh, wait. But
wait, there's more.
What if we had just engineered the perfect little half square triangles, which we didn't this year, but next year, maybe. I'm sure Jacob's going to love the answers behind that. He's not even watching today.
I'm going to do this from the other side
because that's easier to see.
Because that one has the seam in it that I, had manufactured.
Oh, I've got a good trick for this part, but we got to give away some prizes too. Hey,
okay.
Do you mind finishing out trimming those down? Well, I've got $50 to give away to a couple ladies.
Yeah.
I guess I say ladies. I should say quilters. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because I'm just reading names already. So $50 store credit, gift credit, whatever we want to call it here for you're great. And so I need Julie Stevens and Annie Barnes to type winner, winner, chicken dinner into the comments here on YouTube, or I should say, email rob@stitchinheaven.com. That's Julie Stevens. And I think I recognize that name. I think she was very active on the Facebook group. I hope she's watching today. And then also Annie Barnes. So make sure when you hear your name, you go ahead and type into the Facebook group into the YouTube comments, winner, winner, chicken dinner. And then we'll get you set up with your awesome gift certificates. Do we have more prizes before the 500 comes up?
We do. We still have $100 gift card and three $50 gift cards.
Okay, so we still have a 500, a 100, and 3 more $50 gift cards that we can offer up. So we have, 5 more winners ahead of us still today? Oh, that's exciting. Make sure you stay logged in. You must be logged in to win. You have 8?
I have 8.
3 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
And we're going to go till 3 o'clock.
So 3 o'clock will be the $500.
Well, we'll do it a few minutes before 3 o'clock for the $500 one so that we have time to find a winner. Okay? So,
We'll wait till 3 o'clock.
no, we're not going to wait till 3 o'clock.
I'm going to be in the pond by 3:05. I got a trick. Okay.
You have
so, yeah.
You have a trick?
I have a trick I like on this. I love
Oh,
square
good.
triangles with this kind of stuff. Okay. But first, I think we probably have to show them
What we're doing.
the next units of what we're doing. Okay. So here we go. Let's put this on camera here for everybody. And we're moving into unit 6, and we're going to need, like I said, in order to make a block today, you want to use all 8 of your half square triangles. The units, you're going to need 60 of them, and you need 2 of those half square triangles to make the enterprise shape here with the other red E square. And then we're going to put in a J square. So what I've learned to do anytime I'm building a quilt pattern like this is I make one unit first, just as it is on camera, or just as it is on the pattern. So I've got this red square right where I see this red square. Then I'm going to match up the full red line here. The full, just like that. Did I get it right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I put in my next square. So that's what I kind of call like the enterprise looking shape, right?
Okay.
But what's really cool about this is I like to do chain piecing, assembly line style piecing. So if we take this unit into its base units, the half square triangle and the solid square, and I take this unit together and I rotate it, I want to point out that regardless of which fabric we're using, all of my half square triangles are staying in this format.
Yes.
So what that really means is I can stack these bad boys up on the table like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then just match every other one as I go down. Then I just fold them over
Mm-hmm.
and do 1/4 inch seam allowances. And I also always leave my seam on the bed of the machine, so I know that I'm sewing this seam and this seam versus this seam and this seam,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Ready
have
for
any
me
tricks
to
you
sew?
want to add?
No.
Okay. Will you leave me this one and I'll set up the others?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Here, you take this for a minute.
All right.
I like it further away from the sewing machine.
Oh, I got it. That does make sense. Okay, so we're going to have some more prizes coming up in a little bit. We've got another good hour of sewing to go, although, yeah, I guess because we need to build the quilt still, right? So Tiffany's got that going on. I'm going to rearrange the rest of our half square triangles into chain piecing formula. And that is what I also do when I have the whole stack on the table. Then I make sure that how many blues did you have? 2 blues? I will always keep one on the table as I go through because I can't always fit all my parts and pieces on the table. Do you want me to organize yours too then?
No, I don't have enough of all my units to make a block.
Oh, right.
I messed
Okay.
up and we moved
Oh,
on.
that's right. We moved on. Okay, so we'll just finish out with my project then.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. My colors. I like that. And then that's all we really need for the moment, I think. Let's make sure we have 8 of those, please. And if not, I'll
You
hook you
want them together or cut apart?
cut apart.
Okey-doke.
And then I'm also going to point out as we go through, because of the way that this can come together, we have a great opportunity to even nest these small pieces. So like we did with our half square triangles, now what I'm going to do when I go to press these, I'm going to simply press it onto the fabric that doesn't have a seam. Anytime I'm given the choice, I will do that. But because they're going to go on opposites, I will still end up nesting my seam allowances.
Perfect.
Yep. So I really like the unit, and it's fun, Tiff, when I'm working through your patterns at home, building the prep work, I start to hear myself learning new techniques like I just shared with everybody else, you know, and then I feel like it works. And so it doesn't come to me on the first few pieces, right? I work through, I always make at least half the quilt. And so, then I really start to feel like it works. And then as I start to really go quickly through the project, some of those techniques, the ones I always like to share on camera are the ones that I've really fallen in love with per project, you know?
Okay. I did this last year, but this was my little trick that I've learned from somebody.
Oh, here, let me get you overhead. There you go.
So as you're nestling these together, right? You have iron toward the blue, the square, and you've iron toward the red square, and you're going to put them together, and they're going to nestle. But for some reason, if you lick your fingers, they grab better. Your fingers then grab the fabric with that little bit of moisture, and they really nestle nice and tight.
Well, and the other cool thing about that is you've been told by a grandmother that the saliva of your own saliva will take your own blood out of fabric, right? And so if you think about it, that's the same point you would have put one of those sharp little pokey objects earlier. So if you've pre-salivated it, the blood won't even stay.
There you
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we're going with.
That's what we're going with today. Yep.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay.
Okay. Oh, yes. Because, folks, technically, you could put these back together in the not right format and still have them nest, by the way.
Yes.
So don't do that. I'll set you up, but you can lick them yourself.
Okay. I will.
Okay, I'm going to get the iron hot again because at this point, I'm just going to press to one. Oh, I guess you would probably want to press them open at this point.
I probably would.
Should we?
No.
All right. So then we don't need to press them open. That's excellent. And that means that we're that much closer to putting our next block together. Did we hear from Julie or Annie yet?
We heard from Julie, I believe.
Okay, let's give Annie Barnes one more minute for a winner chicken dinner. Annie Barnes, one more minute, winner chicken dinner to claim your $50 gift card here at Stitchin Heaven. Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. I just made a mess with the iron for a second.
Woo.
I fixed it. No worries. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Just keep on moving. Keep on moving. I would like to point out how tidy I've kept my half of the set today. And your half of the set's getting a little bit disorganized over here. I mean, it looks organized, but I'm running out of room to work over here.
All right. Well, you know, my side of the project did have all of the excess trimming of triangles.
That's right. You're right. That's
I'm
right.
just going to go with that.
That's right.
Nice,
Well,
nice of you to pick on me.
Right.
Where's Andrew? Can he
Right.
come back?
Does Andrew want to come back and bail you out? I want to make sure my green light's still on. Okay, good. If you ever see the green light not on, that means they've lost audio again.
Trish will tell us.
Trish will tell us. Takes us 30 seconds to find out. Doing good so far. Yep.
Oh, look.
We needed 4 of these, 4 of unit 5, and 1 of unit 4.
So now we can organize them.
Yeah. Do you want to do it on the design wall? Do it here? I think it's going to be easier for them to see here, I think. Okay, let me get you the other camera. I'll trade you. Ooh, that was a good move.
Right?
Yeah. All right, here we go, folks. We're going to go to the overhead camera. Oh, you know what, though? Before we build this,
what do you want to do?
I think Annie might have just run out of time. She's getting close to running out of time. Are we going to need a new name? Should we put some?
Well, we have another drawing. We just did another drawing, so we may move on for the moment.
We're just going to move on. Okay, so Trish is going to keep her eyes on the board just in case Annie gets it in under the wire.
Okay. Yep, we're going to keep watching.
Okay, keep watching. Okay, so yeah, let's assemble the block here. I have the printed instructions for this block also.
Okay. So
Do you
we're
want, it's so much more fun to show them with fabric though. Let me zoom out a little bit so you don't have to feel so crowded there. Okay, you're ready.
Unit 4, one of them, correct?
Correct.
Unit 5, 4 of them. This is looking very similar to the other block, correct?
Well, that's because you need to rotate those each 180.
Do I? Look at that.
I like how you tricked them though. They thought we were going the same route. That was well played.
I didn't try. Thanks, though.
You're welcome. Blues touch all the way around for me. And I guess for, your reds and your purples or your cool colors also touch all the way around that way.
So to me, this kind of looks like a flower.
Yeah, or a
The other
snowflake a little.
A snowflake, a flower, and the other block had a star.
Yeah.
So block 1's a star, block 2 is a snowflake.
Why did I think you were going to say that?
I don't know.
I'm glad you didn't point any fingers around here. I'm a unicorn, by the way. So I found this block construction super awesome.
Good.
I loved it. Partly because I wasn't working to get this seam in the middle together, right? Let's go back so they can see what we're dealing with. I wasn't working like we did in the first block.
Right.
And then when I did stitch these two units together, and then when I got into the other to build the rows, so I only have to connect that point.
Right.
And that point, which is really cool, but then that point and that point connect with all the seam allowances they go, but we're still not shooting exactly for that. I really like the way this one finished out a lot. It was really cool.
So here's my thought. This is a weird angle to come into this one that has a 1/4 inch worth of angle, right? So when you put these two together, these seam lines need to line up. But if you can't see that, here is my trick. Where are my pins? Because I'm a pinner.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my trick.
Yep. There you go. I went.
See it?
I'm zooming in for you. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put my pin so it comes out this point. It's going to be hard to see because the seam isn't pressed open. If my seams were pressed open, I would be able to see it. But I'm just going to play until I know I'm coming out right at that point. I'm too much in the blue. There I am. Now, this, I need to be a 1/4 inch down at this angle. So there's a couple things I could do. I could take a ruler and I could set a ruler on here at the 1/4 inch mark, and my pin needs to go right through here.
That won't take all day.
It won't take all day. It'll take a while. But here's my other trick. This purple thing
Mm-hmm.
has a 1/4 inch.
Oh, I thought that
end.
was the part that goes in your mouth.
You chew on that?
Are you supposed to? Not on that one, no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So since it's a 1/4 inch square, all I do is set it on the edge of my unit and put my pin in right at the bottom of that and pull it together.
Wow. Super
That's
cool.
because I am just fanatical about that. And I know that you are picking them up and you are matching them based on the diagonal line as they're feeding in. And we're both getting really good results.
I've got a couple already made. You think it's fair to show them? Because I did make more of these. Like I said, I was having a really good time with it.
I'm just going to move all of this over and work on it while you show and talk about that.
Okay, here's one, and this one's pretty good.
Did Tiffany lose her mic?
Yes.
Oh, I have Tiffany's mic.
Gotcha.
But then down here, it's a little. I mean, you couldn't tell because of the way the blues all come together, which is the other saving grace.
Exactly.
Right. So I thought it turned. Yeah, I really felt like this was a really great one for construction for me.
Good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Wonderful. So why don't we just keep that block
Okay.
and put it up here next to this block?
Okay.
Or, I mean, they're going to figure out at this point what
Pretty
we're doing,
soon.
right?
Pretty soon they are, my friend. Pretty soon they
So
are.
I don't think we need to.
Oh, but here's the nice part. They can't see what we just did because I haven't switched the camera back. Should we just leave it like that? Leave them in the dark the whole time? There they go.
Why don't we start with our first block, block 1, put block 2 next to it. How many more block 2s do you have?
Funny you should ask.
Because I am now just going to start building our quilt. What do you think?
Well, and funny that you should ask how that would work out because let me grab that last page they're looking for. And we're just going to dive right into it, right? We're doing okay on time. We have still an hour, but we still can keep building and giving away prizes and all of that stuff.
And we can show finished quilts.
Oh, we have the show. We have the slideshow. So we're actually perfect on time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. Or not the slideshow, but the show and tell. Okay, sorry, I got all excited again. Okay, here it is, folks. This is the layout to your 2025 New Year's Day Mystery Quilt Project. And it's a super cool double lattice the way it comes together. And I thought it was cool the way that the different tones of colors play in both of them. If I slide this down just slightly, slide it down slightly, up in this top corner, we're going to do a B or 1 2 1 2 layout. So you're going to have 3 rows that start with block 1, then go to block 2. And you're going to have 3 rows that start with block 2 and then travel to block 1. That is why we have 15 blocks total, so that you can see everything coming together as such. Now, I happen to have half of the quilt assembled. Would you like to see that now?
I would love to see that.
Okay, here we go.
We're not done, guys, because we have quilts to show you, things to do, and money still to give away.
That's right. Lots of money to give away. And I might have a loose row in here too, hoping I could Tom Sawyer you into making a little bit more. But so yes, and yeah, if we're holding it here, this is correct right now because this is block 1, then 2, or 1, then 2. Okay, and then as we come down. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and I have 2 more rows to assemble into the project. Here, let's pull a little tight. Nice. So that's what it looks like. And I really love the way the reds play through. Right? I just thought it was really terrific. I will point out, folks, I got going in a bit of a hurry because I was actually sewing this while building the video that will come out next Wednesday. So you have all of this in a 30-minute format. And I wish I would have gone a little slower because it's not too difficult to line up some of these seams. But as you can see, I was going, and I haven't even pressed this yet. This was just in the suitcase. But nonetheless, very pleased with your design this year, Tiffany. Love it, love it, love it. And all of a sudden I was having a panic. Am I missing something right here? No, that's the double lattice we're doing. So at any rate, do you think we should maybe sew out some rows? Do you think we should give everybody a little bit of time to make sure they can get a couple of blocks built and answer questions? How do you want to do the next 10 minutes or so?
Why don't I sew this block?
Okay.
And you make sure our prices are going okay.
That's right. Okay. Oh, perfect. Trish is ready for another prize. I've got the microphone. It's on. Okay. I'm loving this. Okay. So we have $100 gift card to give away. So I hope you're all ready. We're going to give you a few minutes. So we have that $100, and it's Tammy with an I, Lockwood. Tammy Lockwood is our next winner. Tammy, if you're watching on YouTube, please in the comments below, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and we will make sure that we get you your $100 gift card. You can also email rob@stitchinheaven.com, and we'll give you, like I said, a few minutes. I believe we still have several prizes to go, plus the $500 gift card, plus Tiffany's quilts for the show and tell. And if you don't like mystery quilts, folks, I actually have a non-mystery project that I was going to do on April 19th. Although I have to make sure I don't get another ticket on the struggle bus on April 19th. How do I ensure no tickets on the struggle bus? Oh my goodness. And actually, you know, it's so funny. And I know we weren't going to talk about that anymore. What I am proud of, Tiffany, is everything other than one thing that we had tested or had been problematic in the years past actually worked this time. I never considered the actual hard drive in the iPad not being able, the processor froze.
Yeah, it's always something, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you could plan and plan and plan, but then something
something still can go a little haywire on you. So, oh wow, did you already get another, did Tammy log in that quick?
Yes, Tammy's Tammy has closed it.
Bravo, Tammy. Thanks for being with us and thanks for responding so quickly. Okay, this is awesome. And don't forget, folks, you do need to be here to hear your name called for the last few prizes. I have a feeling we might even be wrapping it up a little bit before 3 o'clock today, but we want to make sure we can keep on sewing. And also, we do have Trish monitoring the comments. So this would be a great time for you to ask your sewing related questions on the block construction. We're not going to discuss the fact that Rob was on the struggle bus today. And I know that we had problems getting emails out and patterns and all that stuff. The beautiful thing is from this moment on, it's all available. It's all free. And next week, there'll be a 30-minute video. Last year, the entire 5-hour video was posted. What'll probably happen this year is I'm going to post the first half, and then we had a bunch of tech issues where we had to put up a couple new links. I'm just going to delete all of that stuff. So the commenters that were on that, I'm sorry, but those comments will all go away. And then I'll just have this last like 2-hour portion. So I'll have those two, 1-part, 2-part available on the YouTube for us to follow along. But like I said, we also have for next week's Wednesday tutorial where I built the first half of the quilt and walked you through with real close camera work and microphones that were running the whole time and all that kind of stuff. And we always have that edited and ready to go. And I will tell you, I was this close today to pushing the post-it button because I was just starting to stress out. And what was fun, I always like learning alternative solutions. So Tiffany, while you're pressing this out, what I did today was, like I said, the iPad, which was our main production source, froze, done. I ran out of space. But the iPhones we use for this live feature, I just grabbed an iPhone. It can also work as the switchboard. So I can't see as much, I can't engage as much. But when I realized I wasn't going to be able to win the battle with the iPad in the amount of time necessary, we just bounced basically phones or cameras. So we were limited to what we could show because those cameras were also part of our production, or our phones were part of our production. But it's really neat when you think about what technology can really do for you.
Yes.
And it was the longest 20 minutes of my life, I will admit. However, it was only 20 minutes to fix something like that, you know? And again, I just really want to say thank you to all of you that stuck with us through the whole day, especially during that issue where the links were going down. You know, I could only imagine how frustrated some of you may have been because you were so excited about this. But remember, most of you were sewing with your friends and your groups and all of that kind of stuff. And so to us, that's what we really wanted to do years ago. When Deb first started, was it 5 or 6 years ago now? 5 years ago, she just really felt like it would be a wonderful thing to do, have soup, sew together,
Yep.
you know, and you
Make
watched
friends.
that one. Yeah, you watched that one remotely,
I
right?
watched that one from home in California. So I was the 8 a.m. joining at that one, and I made the quilt. And then I was with Deb for another event, and I showed her a technique that I was using, and she's like, well, so what do you do on New Year's?
She's
And
a good Tom Sawyer that way too.
I'm like, well, we usually go out. I said, but what do you see? I kind of knew where she was going. And so we came. We came and I did that one basically by myself, and we had some technical issues. And then the year after that, she Tom Sawyered you in.
Yeah.
So we've been buddies since.
Yeah, this has been really, really a fun project. And I guess if it's okay, while you finish sewing out this block, I'll tell them about the next event we have coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a question that's coming up.
Oh.
A lot. You might go through a little bit again.
Okay.
Okay.
We have some people who still haven't gotten the pattern, and they're wondering how to get the full pattern, when that will be available if they purchase it, or how they get it.
Okay.
Okay.
So reiterate.
Okay. So the question on the floor is, how will everybody receive the full pattern, including the last page, after this event? So as soon as we sign off today, I already have the link for the full pattern. I will put that in the feed for part 2 and for part 1.
And I'm sure we can put it on the Facebook group and it will get emailed out. So there are multiple ways that it will be out there that you can find. If you can't find it in one spot, you'll find it in another. The Facebook group is fabulous for if you comment and say, I can't find the pattern with the last page. Somebody will tell you to go to the files tab and it'll be there.
Yep.
Not immediately. Give us a few minutes. But for forever after that, it'll be available for you. So
Yes.
it's not a paid pattern. This
Yes.
was a free day for you.
Yes. And if you received an email early this morning from us, you may have already or just now be receiving another email
Awesome.
with the final pattern. What we did is we pulled the back page out of the email this morning so that you wouldn't have your mystery spoiled first thing when you woke up. Sent you all the pages but page 10. So if you receive a new email from us that says it's the pattern link or the pattern itself, please understand that's the complete pattern. We will never charge for this pattern. This is a free gift to all of you. And so anytime you want to share this pattern, it'll also be in the link in the description on next week's YouTube video.
Awesome.
So we'll have that, and I can probably even put a link to the soup recipe just for fun.
Why not?
And include all of that. And so, yes, we will, as soon as the cameras stop running today, one more panic moment at the computers where we send out as many links as we can super fast. And then also, am I forgetting any other ways we can get? No, I think we got it all.
I think that's as much as we can get it out there.
Yeah. So basically, as soon as the video ends, I will re-update the link. Okay, and before we, this is great.
It looks like we have people getting emails now.
Yay.
People are
Fantastic.
getting
Okay,
emails now.
sounds like some of the emails are going out. This is going to be a really fun one because I recognize one of the names on the prize board. This is
Awesome.
great. Okay, folks, if you're watching along, we've got 3 winners for $50 gift certificates. Here we go. The first one is Terry Gore. The second one is Irene Thorne. And the third one, that's you, ACJ. All caps, Jenny, you're our winner.
All caps, Jenny.
All caps, Jenny. Jenny Hansen, all caps, Jenny. Yes, she, this is a wonderful story. So I can see the comments often on Friday. And so early on, there was a gal named Jenny Hansen who was typing always in caps. And so I called her all caps Jenny one day on camera, right? And then she stopped typing in all caps, if I remember correctly. And I got disappointed. I didn't pick up on it. I'm like, what happened to our all caps Jenny? So then she came back in all caps and we nicknamed her ACJ. So her and Carl and Patty Smith bounced back and forth at the beginning of the Friday Live videos on YouTube. And they just check in on the weather and each other and things. And so yay! ACJ, did she get you back in all caps?
She did.
Yes, of course she did. So at any rate, I got worried and I sent her an email. And what had happened is she had stopped getting the notifications of the live videos. And so all of a sudden one day she popped back in and there she was. And I was so excited to see my all caps Jenny. So it's really fun when you have, 5,000 plus emails in a list and you look over on the prize board and there's ACJ.
Yay.
So anyways,
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Now that really made my day. That was cool.
Very good.
Okay, were you going to sew that and I was going to do... No, what are we doing?
You know what I'd like to do?
Yes, please.
I'd like you to show your quilt
Okay.
for your virtual, and then I'd like to show my 2 quilts for the cruise.
Yep.
And then I'd like to show my version of this mystery quilt.
Oh, that's right. You got a little further ahead than I did. Oh, you
How do you feel
stinker.
about that?
I don't know how I feel about any of this at this point. Is that the best honest answer I can give you? You know what? That's not true. I just told you I feel great. ACJ got a prize and we have made it.
Almost.
And yeah, I mean, we didn't have to push the emergency ejector button,
No.
right? Okay, so here it is, folks. We are going into, and I've been talking about this a bit on Fridays. Here comes the next virtual sew along. Okay, this is what we're calling the glowing checkered star. It started as a request to learn how to do checkerboards on point.
Nice.
My method, Tiffany, started as a 16 patch that left more scrap than block. So I've learned how to make it differently and I'll teach all of that to you. Folks, it's not a mystery. We have kits exactly what you see here. They will be like these kits. They are pre-cut. We have some fun strip piecing. We have some large half square triangles and we have these awesome checkerboards we'll build. So it's going to be amazing. It features all of my New Worlds fabrics, but folks, there has been a bit of a supply situation. I don't want to change it. I love this quilt. So this is it. We're doing limited stock, limited availability of the kits, but it doesn't change the prices. So of the kits that we make, 5 of those kits will be stuffed with a golden ticket in the kit. The event is on April 19th. You're going to want your kit well beforehand. If you receive one of those golden tickets in that kit, Willy Wonka style, you have your registration paid free to the Glowing Checkered Star or the Wonky and Wonderful Quilt Retreat with yours truly, Rob Appel, here at Stitchin Heaven in August. I believe it's August 7 through 11 or something pretty close to that. So we would love to have you. That means we have reserved 5 seats at the retreat. If you want to sign up for the retreat right away and you happen to win a golden ticket in our kit, we'll simply refund you the cost of the retreat you've already done.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so much fun. And if all goes well, we're going to do during the virtual sew along, we're going to make the whole quilt top in a day.
Wow.
And I'm not setting an end time.
Oh,
I'm going to start and I'm going to sew until I have my quilt top assembled.
wow. Okay, so is there a sign up? How do they sign up for the virtual retreat?
Well, for the virtual sew along,
Yes.
quilt along on April 19th on stitchinheaven.com, there is a register
Okay.
in the events, I believe. There is also a sign up now for the
Retreat.
retreat, and you can also purchase the kits.
Okay.
And
Is there a sign up fee for the virtual retreat?
Virtual retreat is free,
Awesome.
and the price for the August retreat, I believe, is our standard teacher-led retreat, which is $7.99. So there'll be 5 golden tickets at $800 value each.
Perfect.
Isn't that rad?
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm super, super excited, and it's been a really, really fun way. Now in August, when we get together, we're going to modify these projects. So that's the benefit of learning how to sew together. What happens when things go south? What if you want to make it bigger? What if you want to make it smaller? What if you want to change the flavor of lime to grape or pumpkin or whatever?
Okay.
No problem. That's what we do. It's how we learn. It's how we sew together. So I'm really excited, and I want to make sure everybody knows about this. I was originally going to use this for the pond jump challenge. I was hoping I could sell 1 million kits, and that would get me in the bucket of ice water. But unfortunately, it wasn't fair because the quantities are so limited. I was only going to get through a few all-stars and I was going to lose my turn in getting in the pond.
I see.
So that's my show and tell for today.
Do you need a reason to get in the pond?
No,
Okay.
no, I will get in the pond as long as nobody tries to stop me. I'll get in the trash can or whatever I'm doing today. Oh, Trish is going to stop me.
No.
Oh, Trish will not stop me.
Trish will not
No,
stop
folks.
We'll tackle anyone who tries.
Yeah, try to. Yeah,
Trish, can you maybe do something for me right now? Can you check on Stitchin Heaven on the Quilt Cruise page and tell me where my cruises go? Because I think we had that figured out to post.
I might be able to bring that around for you.
Oh, well, then maybe Rob will do it. I'm just going to pull a quilt over.
Bring a quilt over. You need the event. You need the cruising pages.
Yeah, I just need to know where
Oh.
we're going when I teach this cruise. All right. I just want Rob to see if he can figure out where the cruise is going, that this is the project that I'm teaching. But this is, I know where it's going. This quilt is called Caribbean Island Vibes, which means we're going to the Caribbean. I actually named it that, hoping that it would get picked up and I'd get on a cruise and go to the Caribbean and teach this quilt. And it worked out well for me.
That was really smart.
Rob's trying to check it out, trying to see. This is a fun quilt. This is a 1-block quilt, actually. And the block is right here. And we just make a bunch of them. If you want it to look just like this, you will order the pre-cut kit from Stitchin Heaven. And when you get on the ship, we will have that pre-cut kit in your shag bag at your seat when you sit down to quilt.
So I've got you listed here. And that's one of the ones you're doing with Michael Davidson as well. And he's doing a Quiltworks quilt. So it's Oasis of Quilting Cruise. And it's October 18 through 26, 2025. So that's the fall quarter this year. And looks like heading into the Bahamas, Florida, Fort Lauderdale,
Fun.
Aruba, Coquet, Bahamas. Yeah, it's going to be a great trip.
Wonderful.
And then the other one you're doing with Michael Davidson is January 17 through 24, 2026. So we'll talk about that again next year during the New Year's Day before you even get on board. But that's Quilting Quest Cruise.
And I have that quilt with me.
You want to show it?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I was jumping ahead. I'm sorry. See, now that one looks so much different in the little.
I know.
It almost doesn't do it justice. And,
They never do them justice on.
They really. Well, yeah, you're right.
Mm.
That's a good one. Okay.
So this one is made. It's another 1-block quilt. We'll do some strip piecing. We'll do some stitch and flip corners like we did today. This is made with my new fabric line that should hit stores around May. The line is called Earthy Enchantment. So, and this one was quilted. Can I go there?
You can go there.
This one was quilted by my husband, Scott. Scott did the digitized quilting and he quilted this quilt. And I know if you don't all know, there's plenty of you that do, but Scott passed away in October. And I know that there were a number of you that weren't sure that I was going to show up today, but I did because I have to. But I miss him. I miss him immensely. We were married 37 years and he worked here at Stitchin Heaven and they miss him too. So there we are. Whew. Okay, let's talk about one more quilt.
You got it. Okay. Oh, you got that quilt before I tear up too, because I was thinking, yeah. But thank you for addressing that, Tiffany, because I want to compliment you on your strength. I knew you would be here. We had a plan in case you chose not to be.
Right.
But as Tiffany and I have been working a bunch this month of December or last month of December to get ready for this, we've spent a lot of time in communication, both on a personal level and a work level. And what we have found for both of ourselves is keeping our hands busy the last month has been really, really good for us.
Yes.
So you hear us talk about it all day long, but this young lady here is living it. And it's really, really important to check in on our friends and have no expectations and just be able to be there for people. That's what I've learned. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Let's show this quilt before we both need Kleenex.
All right. We're upside down, but do we know? Yeah.
Okay.
It does, because
There
the
it
star's got to be in the corner.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because we start with block 1. Oh, that is gorgeous.
Pull it tight at the top.
Pull it tight at the top. And I'll lower my arm. Perfect. There it is.
So since I'm still on with about Scott, I had to learn how to use Pro Stitcher Designer, and I designed the quilting for this quilt in the style that Scott designed. So he did not teach me how, but I looked over his shoulder often enough that I knew how he created designs, and I pushed myself to do that. And so I'm proud of myself for that.
And I also have another one of our community members, Kevin, has already volunteered to come over and work with you on your Pro Stitcher, and he can do it this evening or tomorrow.
Perfect.
When he comes over, and he will teach you anything you would like to learn. He is a Pro Stitcher Pro.
I love that. He did tell me that already, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
I asked him if he would be willing to do
Yep.
that, and he said, "Of course."
Okay,
Yeah.
so
All
what
right,
are we
we're
down
both
to?
drying our eyes.
I
just want to stand here
and cry.
cry a bit. Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. Oh, I love you so much.
Love
you
you,
are
Rob.
such an awesome friend and quilting partner. This has been great.
It has been great.
And I guess, like I don't want to keep
Let's just put it
reiterating it so much. Let's put it this way so you can see it. But
Okay.
yeah, folks, this is what quilting is about. We have had several folks this year that have had several challenges in our groups and our friends, big and small, and quilting and the colors of the fabric and the camaraderie. Even myself back in February as a recovering alcoholic, my Februaries are often challenging for me. And I don't know if you remember that silly wonky log cabin quilt.
Yes.
But throughout this last year, I was reminded multiple times of the benefits of working around beautiful things and working with my hands. There were multiple times where it brought me out of mental crisis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think that'll change this coming year either. I hope I have less of a need.
Don't we always?
We always do.
We always do. We always look for the bright future.
Yep. And this
Yep.
is a beautiful, bright quilt, and I just absolutely love the designs of it.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see what everybody does with their colorways.
Oh gosh, make sure you post pictures
Please.
on Facebook. Even if Rob and I don't respond constantly and frequently, we're still checking in, mostly on the pictures, sometimes on the comments. We can't always be there to answer all the questions, but you guys have been fabulous at helping each other out on that Facebook group. Fabulous. Do we have one more? What time is it?
We got half an hour.
Oh, I'm feeling rushed.
We have one more prize and then the big prize, or we have the big prize? We're down to the big prize. We've done it.
Okay, do we have any questions that
Yeah,
we need to
let's feel-
answer?
Right now.
I know. Let's field some questions then. Yep. And I don't mind if we have to come out early today a little bit because I feel like folks have been really patient with us
Yes.
all day. And so that's great. So let's do a quick questions scan and make sure that there's nobody feeling stuck out there. And then maybe I can, we'll do the big prize. We'll make sure we have a winner. We'll get those links up. Oh, you already,
We just drew it.
okay. You want me to say the name?
Yep.
Tiffany wants to say the name.
Oh,
Here, you've got the name. You get to say it.
all right. I guess I don't need glasses if you're going to bring me the paper. Ooh, it's
I got scribbles on the backside.
okay. Kathy Myers. Kathy Myers. You have a little while.
You got a little while, Kathy. It's the
$500.
So we might as well give you an extra minute or two. Winner, chicken dinner, $500. Put it in the comments. Kathy Myers, if you're seeing us out there, please let us know. What's that?
I just saw her pop up.
Okay, so you're out there, you're listening. We think we just saw your name go through in another comment. Kathy Myers, we're looking for you to give away $500 quilter cash here at Stitchin Heaven. Oh, I like that. Quilter's cash.
Quilter
I
Cash.
finally, all it only took me 5 hours to come up with a name for it. Quilter's cash.
Quilter's Cash.
So I don't know how, I'm going to probably free motion mine. I free motioned it last year, but kind of just in easy waves on the long arm
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to distract so much from the designs of what was going on and stuff. Now, when you said you did this the way Scott would do it.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, Kathy. Awesome.
You want me to talk about what you
No,
see?
I just want to ask, did you really program it for like the small block possible, or did you do more of a row?
I did it.
Edge to edge?
I did it as per the blocks we created. So this is block one.
Okay, let me give you the overhead a little.
The star one. Let's see. Where do we go? It goes right here.
Yeah.
It's on the.
You're good.
It's right here. Okay. This is what I was going to do. This is block one, right?
Right.
So I designed a quarter of this block in digitizing, and I started in this corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way Scott used Pro Stitcher Designer was he only really used two elements in the design, which are a 3-point curve and a line tool. I know there are plenty of other tools, and he just never used the other ones. So all of his quilting had that same kind of feel because he only used those two elements. So
Right.
I only had to learn those two elements.
Right.
So when I started here, I figured out how to get it to come up and come over and do whatever design it did, and it comes back here. And then in Pro Stitcher Designer, it has a button. You're going to get me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called Reflect. And if you hit that button, it automatically takes this quarter of the design and flips it here and flips all of this.
Mm.
So the whole block is then one piece. It starts and finishes right in the center. And so I go to the long arm and I mark all of the important spots of this block, and I hit go, and it comes to the center and it quilts this entire block. Then I did the same thing with a different design on block 2. Then I repeated block 1 design on every block 1, and I repeated block 2 design on every block 2.
Got it. So you didn't do a row to row or an
Nope.
edge to edge. You did block by block by block on this. And so I apologize to all of our new quilters out there. We might have just used several terms you didn't quite understand.
Even our quilters that just don't have a long arm or
don't know what a Pro Stitcher is.
Exactly.
So I'm going to break it down real quick. Kind of a standard domestic machine, a little bit bigger than average, but it's a straight stitcher. We do a lot of machine quilting on this. Or we also have a frame system where a machine twice as big, basically, where you're kind of hanging onto it like on this side on handlebars, and it goes over the top of the quilt, and the quilt top, the quilt batting, and the quilt backing are all generally on separate bars, and they're kind of pulled taut, so there's no pin basting and things. Then the long arm can go back and forth all the way across it, but they also can be computerized like an embroidery machine that runs on basically XY coordinates. So a lot of folks will just go from one edge to the other edge with a design that's roughly 12 inches big, and then they'll just roll down another 12 inches, because most of these frames hold about 18 inches of quilt or more.
Right, and that's usually called an edge-to-edge design, a border-to-border design. There's another term. Anyway, that's what those usually are.
Right.
This one is digitized custom quilting.
Right. And it takes probably almost as long or maybe even longer than just doing it with real free motion, but it's, we don't want to use the word exact, but it's really, really, really close. And it's very repetitive. It's for me, it's so hard to keep a design motif going freestyle through a long arm, and it would be very challenging to do it block by block. So I love the way that, and I really, really like the way this comes out. And yes, I do see Scott's techniques in this, and that I'm so stoked that you're doing that. And what'll be fun to do is to see where you evolve.
Right. I you know, when you save things in your computer, we always joke that Scott's machine quilting was called full throttle quilting because he likes his race cars and other things. He likes to go fast. So his was full throttle quilting. And so I have a whole category of all of his designs under full throttle quilting. So now my designs are now full throttle quilting by Tiffany.
Right.
So I know, so I can keep separate what were authentically his designs and what are my designs. And so in full throttle quilting by Tiffany, I now have the freedom to use more tools and to learn more things. And to progress the way I want to.
Well, and because you before were making the quilt tops while Scott was quilting the quilts. You have to do both jobs now.
I do.
So you need to figure out a way to make it, and this is my opinion, of course, but to try to make it so that it runs longer but looks similar, so that you don't have to tend to the machine as much. Because that's the other benefits of a computerized long arm with a Pro Stitcher's the software. And that's what allows us to be hands-on something else in the same room while a machine is, or a robot is quilting our quilt for us. Really great that way. And of course you get the benefits of the stitch regulation and all of that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with Full Throttle by Tiffany. That's going to be rad.
Awesome.
Okay, Trish, how did we do over there? Did we get everybody's questions answered, do you think? Do you have anything else we can do?
Everybody's just saying what a great time they've
had. Fantastic. Everyone's got their prizes claimed.
I think so.
We've got the quilt finished. Mine almost got finished. All of a sudden, it's all your stuff. That's how it should be. It really should be. You held us together today. You held down the fort.
You did all the hard stuff behind the camera.
I was going off the rails. I was going to jump in the pond about 10:45 this morning, I think, when everything was going south.
Well, so I'm not getting in the pond today, and I don't think I'm getting the bucket over my head today.
I don't think you deserve the bucket over your head. If anything, I think you deserve a nice hot tub and some black-eyed peas and cornbread is what I heard's happening, something like that.
That sounds fabulous.
Doesn't it, though?
Oh, awesome. Sounds fabulous. All right, you guys.
Well, let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and let's sign off. And then please give me about 10 to 15 minutes to get the full pattern link to YouTube, hopefully to Facebook. And then, as a matter of fact, I can put it on my personal social media, robappel.com. Excuse me, the Rob Appel on Facebook. I don't know why that would be important. No, that doesn't make sense. I guess I just spun out again. We're going to just use YouTube and Facebook group for the links to the final pattern.
Because if it's been sent out by email, it's already automatically been sent out by the email. So Rob doesn't need to work on that one.
That's right.
That one's good.
I can stop trying to solve problems now?
Yeah, you can stop. All right, you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, let's do it. Yours are under the thing still, aren't they? Oh, no.
Oh, you want that one?
I'm going, because they missed it. The first video opened up with these darn things on and we couldn't see a thing.
Yeah.
You can't see out of these.
So I'm just going to hold mine.
Yeah, really? Yeah, there you go. Nice. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you on a Friday live. We will see you on a Wednesday tutorial. We will see you at a cruise, a retreat, a land ahoy, in the shop, expo next year, quilt show next year. We have so many wonderful ways to gather as a community and to quilt together and to share together and to support each other. So
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here.
Yep. All right. Done.
Let's done.
This and a this.
Yay.
Yay.